Family caregivers have many roles: scheduling appointments, managing finances, running the household. But the most important role is advocating for your loved one. Amy O'Rourke with the Cameron Group has joined me to talk about how to be an effective advocate. And gosh, this is an important subject. But first of all, Amy, how do we really determine or define that term advocate?
There's two types of advocates.
Okay.
There's a professional advocate, otherwise known as an aging life care professional. And there's the non-professional advocate, which is the person that's responsible, the person that's been designated as a healthcare surrogate or a medical power of attorney, and they're responsible for making sure that the healthcare decisions that are made for their person are exactly following the values for that person.
Okay, now can that person be a family member? Do they have to be
a family member?
licensed?
Can be a no. It's somebody that you trust, somebody that's in your circle.
Okay.
And probably the most important thing is, do they have the strength and courage to stand up to a medical provider, physician or a surgeon or a nursing home staff member, to make sure that they're strongly advocating? They have to have the stomach for it.
Right, and I mean, that comes to my next question. What kind of skills, if you're realizing you have an elderly parent or maybe elderly friend and you want to be that advocate for them? Again, what type of person, what type of skills do you need?
Well, the perfect one would be having a social worker or a nurse. So if you have a friend in your world that's a social worker, a mental health counselor, or a nurse, those are great skill sets. Most people don't have that.
Right.
So you look around and you say, okay, I want somebody that has experience interacting with people, good people skills, good proactive skills, maybe some experience taking care of somebody else, another loved one, and a good listener.
Sure.
Somebody that you know will be listening to what your needs are.
And probably really observing your situation.
Yeah, and ideally someone that's known you for a long time. And that if you haven't specifically said you don't want a certain test, that they can historically remember the kinds of decisions you made to come to a good decision, should you not be able to cue them as to what you want.
Okay, is this something that you should maybe have written down, documented?
Yeah, I would. I like that for people, or have somebody else involved in a conversation. Ideally, there would be 3 or 4 meetings that you give them all kinds of scenarios. What would you do if you were in the hospital? What would you do if you broke your hip? What would you do if your heart stopped? And then get an idea as you're listening, and then type it up.
Sure.
Type it up, and just in case, because when you're in the heat of the battle, when you're in the hospital and you're under the gun,
and you can't
get
think.
scared. The
Sure.
advocates everybody gets scared, and am I sure they said this? Am I sure that this is the right thing to do? And if they have something to look at, or they have a friend to call to say, do you remember Mary saying so and so? Then it gives them the confidence that they're really following through on what you want.
Right, and of course we'll always have the information for your group, but how do people reach you for more information?
Oh, they can call our office at 407-896-2010, or reach us on the web, thecamerongroup.us.
And I suppose there's never an end to that advocating. You need to stay with that person.
Oh, once you make that commitment, you really need to stay there for life.
And that is an important job security that you'll have.
Oh, yeah, it is. It is. And what I love about being a professional advocate or professional aging life care manager is that people can get our help, go and do it on their own, come back, like we call it getting a tune-up.
Absolutely. And Amy, this has been an important and inspiring conversation. So thank you for the wonderful tips on how people can advocate for an elder in need. Thanks, Amy.